Hi, this is Dave from the Author's Reserve, and today we're going to be unboxing a very special pen, at least for me. It's my newest Grail pen. One of the things that pen collecting has taught me is that my tastes change over time. When I first got into pens, I didn't like, for instance, gold trim. I only wanted pens that matched the color of the body of the pen or had silver trim or steel trim. Didn't like the gold. Especially didn't like gold plated or gold trimmed pens with a black body. That just seemed like boring and state. And now look. So another thing that was interesting in changing tastes over time was one particular pen that just never floated my boat. A lot of pen collectors I have seen who I feel have similar tastes to mine all seem to love it. Think it had a great writing experience and were fawning over the aesthetics of it, and it just didn't do anything for me. But over like the last year, it started to grow on me for some unknown reason, and it became this sort of a siren song where I felt I needed to have it, and I put it on my Grail list. Well, on International Pen Day, there was a discount on it, plus I had some credit at this particular company and wound up getting it for like a really incredible price. And that was the Dolce Vita Oro Giallo Oversize. So this is that one you've seen probably that is black on both ends and orange on the middle, which seems atrocious, seems garish, but I needed it. I needed it. So we'll be unboxing this and doing a quick writing sample of it, and I'm just really excited to share this with you. So let's get on with the unboxing. Okay, so we'll get to the Delta here in a moment, but before we do that, let's talk about the giveaway for this video, which is another platinum Curidas. We'll do a writing sample of this one before we start with the Delta. I did a poll recently and asked people if they wanted me to do writing samples, and the most votes went to the one that said, yes, please do. So we'll go ahead and do a writing sample with this. I will clean it before shipping it off to one lucky winner. It's a gorgeous color. I really like looking at it. The Curidas is a retractable pen, obviously by Platinum. This particular one is a medium nib. It can be a cartridge. Actually, these all are converters. To fill it, we need to pull this out here. The converter is on the bottom here, along with a cartridge. I'm just going to use the converter, and we'll only do a partial filling of this one. So insert the converter into the nib, and then there's a key here where you need to align that and then give it about 1/8 of a turn, and then do that again here with this key. Twist a little further and then pop it in, and there you have it. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill this up. We're going to be using Iroshu Suzuku Momiji. I don't know. I don't speak Japanese, so if you do, please let me know how to say that properly in the comments section. This is a brilliant reddish ink, scarlet, I would say. So I'm not going to do a full fill here. I just want to do enough to do a writing sample. So probably don't need to fill it at all. Probably use it just as a dip for the writing test, but we have enough here to give it a go. And I'm a little bit of a stickler about keeping the nibs clean as best I can, so I'm just going to wipe off the excess here. A lot of the time they spent a good amount of time designing the nibs to make them beautiful, so I don't know, maybe having a drop of ink on the top isn't going to make it ugly, but all right. So the garage is really cold and my arthritis is working up, so this might be a little bit of a cold start for me. A lot of people don't like the clip here. That's okay. Inside the box, if you're one of those people, there's a little tool here to remove the clip. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt still to remove it and put it back on, so I'm going to leave it for whoever wins this to decide whether or not they want it. All right, so we have a platinum. You know what? This is writing way better than I remember. And the ink, again, is this, by the way, this is a Pilot ink. The line of ink is called Iroshizuku, which means color drops. And the actual color is Momiji. Oh, I think I might have said it right this time. All right. Now let's do some line width variation tests. So light, medium, heavy, no line width variation. Light, medium, heavy, no difference there. Light, medium, heavy. Nope. That's fine. It's what I would expect. Don't see any differences there either. Nice and wet though. Okay, so this is the Pilot, or the Platinum Curidas. Let me just do the quick brown fox here. My cat wants in. Okay, there you go. That's cursive. All right, now to the main event. Delta, Dolce Vita, which means sweet life. Oro Giallo, which I believe means golden orange. Now Delta was originally formed in 1982 and what else was happening around 1982? Well, I was still in school. Fast Times at Ridgemont High was in theaters. And we had a president named Reagan. Later on, in about I think it's 2015, they started having financial difficulties. They came up with something called a bonded, I believe it was, no, it was a fused nib, where they had fused a little bit of gold on top of a steel nib thinking that was going to attract people, and really I think that probably turned people away. You either want a gold nib or you want a steel nib. You don't want this bastardized Franken nib. One of the founders started the company up in recent years and started making the same pens, some of the same pens, but with newer technologies and newer materials, although keeping in line with the handcrafted principles that they've always had. Oh boy, this already is making me super excited. Handcrafted with heart. Fatto a mano in Napoli, Italy. Oh, wow. That is much more gorgeous than I was expecting. It looks like, to borrow a line from Close Encounters, a 50-50 bar. So I'll set that aside. Wow, it's gorgeous. Now the reason I choose oversized pens these days is because of the arthritis in my hand. I'm finding it harder to write long sessions. I'm trying to be an author. I'm trying to get a book published. This is number 0224, I guess. Delta DV, which is short for Dolce Vita Original Oversize. That's what it says up here. And then 0224, Italy. I don't know if 224 is a license number or if it's actually the serial number of the pen. I kind of doubt that because I don't believe this is a limited edition pen. It has a wonderful weight to it. Very beautiful gold trim. This gold band, it's actually 2 bands with an engraving there. I don't believe it's symbolic of anything. It doesn't appear to be lettering. The finial here, we have the Dolce Vita logo, which is here. I guess this is the correct orientation. Okay, let's take a look. Wow. Number 8 size nib, or equivalent. That's gorgeous. I'm noticing the feed is very low profile. It's carved almost directly to the point of the nib itself, barely going beyond that. Of course it's postable, although I probably wouldn't use this posted. I think it fits in my hand quite nicely, this size here. All right, so let's count the number of twists it needs. We have 1 full turn, 2 full turns, and a bit. So let's try that again. 1, 2, and a bit, about a quarter. Okay, so this is the ink that they supplied. we won't be using that today. Instead, we'll be using Noodler Southwest Sunset, which used to be called Noodler's Apache Sunset. I think at some point they must have recognized the cultural appropriation in that and changed the name. But this is a beautiful, beautiful color. I'm actually going to clean this off a little bit before putting it into my pen. It is a favorite of a lot of people, has beautiful shading quality to it. Yes, the cat really wants in. Notice there's brass threads here against plastic, but there is an O-ring there, so it could be used as an eyedropper filler. It's very smooth threads here. And I am just going to prime it a little bit by dipping the nib here in the ink itself and removing the excess from the top of the nib and from the underside of the feed. So we have Dolce Vita original, oversize, medium, I like it. And it's using Noodlers. Southwest Sunset. Wow. This is definitely a medium nib, although I would put it somewhere, I mean, for a European nib, somewhere between medium and fine, more towards the medium size. I don't have a line gauge here, but that's my feeling as I'm writing with it. There is a slight amount of feedback to it, which is good, but it's generally smooth, light, medium, heavy, light, medium, heavy. Now you'll notice there's a little bit of difference in the shading here. Maybe you can see that on the video, but there's variable or very little line width variation here. Light, see the diagonals, medium, heavy. No line width variation there. It is a very wet pen though, I can definitely say that. It doesn't really appear with that box there, but it definitely feels like a very wet pen. And you can see it in the shading here as well. All right. Wow. I'm really enjoying the feel of the pen. The end of the grip section is a little too sharp for my liking, but it is definitely not something I'm going to be too concerned with. Actually, it might be because I'm choking down on it quite a bit, causing a little more pressure than necessary. I think I need to trust the ridge there to keep the pen in place rather than squeezing so hard. So this is more about me learning to use this pen than a indictment of the pen's design. It is wonderful. I'm going to write a little more, but I'm going to write with the cap posted. Now, I don't really notice a whole lot of difference in the feel of it when I'm writing. I do feel like it's a little bit extra top heavy there that I could probably deal without, and I would probably use it mostly like this. Other than that, this is an amazing writer. I am so happy with this purchase. Not only that, but I got such a great deal on it. From, I'll just say this, Atlas Stationery. They had some great fountain pen day deals going on, and so I got basically 2 discounts on this one. I wouldn't have been able to afford this otherwise, given all the other purchases I made, but this might be my favorite purchase of fountain pen day shopping spree that I went on. I am very excited to have this pen in my collection. If you've stuck with me this long in the video, thanks for watching. I am really excited to finally have this pen in my collection. It feels so wonderful in my hand while writing. If I knew how well this wrote and the quality of materials and craftsmanship that went into this, I would have purchased this pen long ago. This one will never be traded. This one will wind up being willed away. This will remain in my collection the rest of my life, and I will be using this pen on a daily basis, I can tell. I'm looking forward to doing some long-form journaling with this pen. Thank you so much for watching. Please, again, subscribe and keep writing.